Let's talk love. Well, let's talk about the associations we may make with love from our childhoods. Associations that may or may not be serving us when it comes to relationships. We form our beliefs about what love is when we are children, right? If we have Ward and June Cleaver as our parents, then we think love is wonderful and we have a good chance of having healthy relationships. But if we are raised by a narcissist, someone that's emotionally unavailable, someone that is addicted to some kind of substance, and that substance is more important than the children, we still form a belief what love is, but it's not a healthy way of looking at love. It just is what it is for us. For me, I have had to accept that love equals pain and most of the time betrayal and loss. I lost pets when I was a child because I loved them so much, and their demise was used as leverage to keep me quiet. But children are children. We're optimistic even when horrible things happen, because we don't know that life is supposed to be any different than that. And I don't think that I realized for many, many decades that this isn't what love had to be. I had all sorts of triggers come up in the last several years, as they were intended to help me finally realize that how I looked at love wasn't healthy and wasn't ever going to bring me a healthy relationship. And I have healed so much of it. But I didn't realize that I still had some part of me shut down. And then little Bixby, the bird I've talked about in my last few videos that weren't card pull related. That little bird, he died. And I wanted to shut down again. But I started getting all this information, psychic information, about why this had happened. As it turns out, I had a loving being who made the choice to incarnate as little Bixby, knowing exactly what was going to happen. A soul that normally would have incarnated as a human, but that decided to come to this new life as a tiny little vulnerable bird, so that those icebergs still in my heart could bust apart with love. When Bixby was at the vet and there was a screw up, and so I wasn't told that he had passed away, I realized that I was connecting with him. And he kept telling me, I'm alive. I'm going to be with you again. I am alive. And so I was worried, yes, not hearing from the vet, but I was telling myself no news is good news, because I had this connection with Bixby saying, I'm alive. I'm going to be with you again. So when I found out that Bixby was dead, and had been since the day before, but they had everything screwed up and hadn't gotten a hold of me, I thought, how could I have gotten that wrong? It felt like such a strong telepathic connection. And then I started hearing from Bixby again, but in a spirit guide form. This is when I learned that this loving being had come here to be Bixby, to help me with breaking up these blockages that I didn't know were still there. And Bixby has kind of taken over as my guide right now and explained some things to me. For instance, "No, I'm alive" was to help me see it may feel like such major loss to not have the people or pets we love on earth, but on the other side, they are alive because they are eternal. And so it didn't have to be that love equaled loss. Because Bixby, I am now in communication with all the time as my guide. It has helped me get past that loss part of it. Betrayal, I have finally learned betrayal is not because there was something about me. It's something the other person had to deal with. And we can't control the actions of others, only our own. And pain doesn't come from us loving. It comes from us losing that love that we had expectations about. I thought Bixby was going to live 20, 30 years with me and was going to be my companion. That love still exists, it's just not with me here on earth. I guess really I just want to ask you to examine if maybe deep down you have a belief about what love has to be because of your childhood experiences, and if maybe that belief can be let go of, at least modified. Love never is pain. Love never is betrayal, and love never is loss. Love is what we feel. It's all those other things around it that need to be healed, that keep us afraid of loving again. If we just take on that healing, we're not going to be afraid to love again, because we'll admit we're not afraid of losing love. We're afraid of losing the person or the person's affection for us. We attach love to something other than what we feel. Love is what we feel. Love is what we are, if we allow it to be so.